Hey guys, I just want to have like a quick casual chat with you guys about something that has been weighing on my chest for the past few days. So as you guys may know, the Black Lives Matter movement, it's something that hasn't really taken a center stage in China, like for understandable reasons. But I think this issue, it definitely casts a spotlight on so much social injustice that permeates every single corner of not just the US, but also in China, in the UK, you know, across the globe. Like, there's still so much social injustice in this world that we need to be more aware of because of this implicit bias, that we need to actively take a stance to combat them and change the perception. I think, you know, one of my favorite quote that really strikes me is another world is not only possible, but she is on her way. Maybe many of us won't be there to greet her, but on a quiet day, if I listen very carefully, I can hear her breathing. We as a generation, we shouldn't just be apathetic with these causes of social injustice and structural inequalities in our society. Not just race inequality, but also gender inequality, and also within China, like the rural, urban kind of discrimination, or just regional discrimination, whatever. We can't just be in disunion with them, but we actually need to start taking an active stance against them. I think that's how we can gradually, as a society, that's how we can gradually start dissolving this kind of implicit bias that is inherent in our minds. And also, you know, one thing that really, okay, this is a really casual chat, it's not like structured or anything, it's not like, I mean, it's not really anything, but like, one thing that struck me the most is like, people think because of their race, because of their gender, because of where they're from, that they're superior than the other people. They should be actually ashamed of themselves. Like, so this police officer, he posted this picture of himself squeezing this blackberry on Instagram, just shamelessly posting a picture and promoting white supremacy. Like, what the fuck? Like, shouldn't he be ashamed of himself that he thinks that he's better than other people just because of his race, because of the color of his skin? Like, also in China, there are many cases where people from urban areas, they just implicitly think that they're better than the rural people. Like, what? Like, or like men thinking that they're superior than females just because of their gender. Like, the fuck? Like, shouldn't these people be slightly ashamed of themselves, or think that their logic is slightly stupid and messed up? I think this instance in particular, it alerts us to the fact that, you know, many people kind of held this false belief that we are in a colorblind, post-racial society, but we're not. You know, we're not. In terms of police, you know, criminal injustice and the stop and search prevent policy in the UK, like, you know, and in healthcare there are so many cases of medical racism. I think it's going to take time. Obviously, it's going to take time to dissolve the implicit bias within our minds. But I think as we start taking more active stance against that, that's probably the way forward. And I think, you know, it's very important that we sometimes take the time to envisage what is, you know, another world not only possible, so we can hear her breathing. Then what is this other world that we envisage? You know, what do we want to achieve in this other world? Yeah, this kind of calls for like a curriculum reform in the US and also in the UK, how they presented the history of colonialism. Because I mean, a lot of these kind of racist young men, they have received years of education, you know, 18 years of education. And I think it says something about the approach to history discipline, you know, how it is being taught, not only a curriculum reform, but also institutions themselves. There are a lot of people in the cabinet perpetuating incredibly racist policies. And yes, it's very important to have like these conversations on an individual level. In daily lives, we need to start having more conversations on these matter of social injustice, and we need to be more aware of these kind of things. And also I think on a broader level, how the history discipline is being taught, how it is being presented to the students, young students who are still forming their perception of the society. For example, in the US and the UK, how colonialism in our history textbook is being presented. You know, the struggles of African Americans in the US history textbooks, they need to take a priority if we want to actively combat this kind of inherent implicit bias. And also, on a broader level, our institutions, they are we need to start working towards changing these institutions as well. And yeah, I think boiled down to the basics, I just hope that this world is filled with more kindness, with more benevolence, I guess. Because sometimes, this sounds really stupid, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you do wonder what is the point of living this life, right? You only get this life once, you only live it once. What do you want to achieve in this life? I think really boiled down to the basics is about bringing this world happiness, bringing more kindness to the society. I think that's the most important thing. The most important quality, it's not about how smart you are or how talented you are or whatever. I think it's about kindness. It's about how kind you are and how you treat the world, how you treat the society, how you treat the people around you with kindness. I don't know. So I just hope that people just treat each other with kindness, make this world a better place, bring more happiness to this world. This is just a random, ramble about random stuff, but it's just a really casual chat. I don't know why I did this, but yeah, I don't. And also, I don't know, it's just, there's so much negativity, there's so much hatred within society, whether it's on the internet or in this world in general. But I don't know, I just hope that everyone treats each other with kindness. Yeah, I don't know.
4点钟，我帮你们配字幕配到现在，都是一个字一个字的帮你们打。Oh my lord！ Oh my lord！ 还是有一些人在那说，你平时大家10分钟的视频，你们知道打多少字？I'm actually 先要剪完以后，再一个字一个字的往上配。但希望大家就是这个视频里面应该会有很多就是平时大家经常会用到的一些单词啊之类的，就是非常常用的，而且如果你要写在论文里面的，都会让你的作文感觉更加地道的一些词汇，我都给大家标志出来。So hopefully you guys find it helpful. 我还有20多分钟的没有给你们配完。Oh my lord! I don't think I can sleep today. 还是会有很多人说这个视频怎么着。I just want to say， 其实你们每个看到的10分多钟的视频，其实背后剪辑都是无比的辛苦。可能看到的就是一个，比如说上一次我发的这个视频17分钟，看上去就是个17分钟的视频，但其实每天我得花几个小时时间，因为这里面每一帧每一集都是剪出来的。每一个字都是我给你们打上去的 ，every single 字 ，every single 特效，这个每一帧都是剪出来的，这都是剪一个视频真的是，而且还给你们配的是中英字幕 ，so， but hopefully you guys find it helpful， 这每一个字都是打上去的，都是我手一个打上去的 ，yeah。